Were you never really interested in signing to a label anyway?
No, not really, unless it's for a, I mean, yeah, now I would say I am, but only in the sense, only in the condition that it's a large sum of money, um, like pretty large, like a sizable amount. I would, I would be down. And that's not to say that, I
What's
haven't.
large? Like seven figures? Like,
I would say, damn, how many figures is? Yeah, I would say like I wouldn't go below 1 million,
yeah,
mainly because you're not gonna see any of that. Like this is my music, like I'm not going to see any return on any of the stuff once you start taking money from someone for music that you're about to release. Like you're not going to see any of that, like, because they're going to be recuperating, all the money they gave you from your royalties.
right.
Then only does the split start. So even if you sign a deal that's like 80-20 in the favor of you, and they give you $100,000, right? You're not going to see, and you probably know how this works, but you're not going to see any of the 80% until they recuperate $100,000
Right.
from all of your royalties. So really at that point, you've just released a project for $100,000. Because if they're giving you just $100,000, you're probably not going to make back $100,000 and then see your split within 4 to 5 years. That means you've just made $100,000 that has to last you 4 to 5 years.
Mm-hmm.
Which means that if I have a project that I'm giving you and I need money to last me as long as your term states you're going to be profiting off of it or recuperating whatever amount of advance you give to me. I need that to make sense, because this is our livelihood, man. Like this is how we like exist. Like, this
And then,
mic, the speakers and all that shit, royalties. I can't do that.
and then comes the question of ownership, right? Is like, do they own that music from that point forward? Because then that's like an asset that you essentially created and don't own anymore, So then then that, aside from just the whole advance and recouping, it's like in the future, if you don't own your masters, then that really kind of limits you in terms of like how much you can make off of your music.
1,000%. And it's not, and I'm not trying to demonize labels in any sort of way, like I like talking, talking shit about them every now and then because it's just a snaky industry. And I've run into a lot of, not so good people at labels and some very nice and cool people at labels.
Right.
That being said, they're companies, right? So like it's a giant risk, like for them to, put money towards a human being based on the trust that they'll deliver a project that'll make all that money back. For them, that's a huge risk. So they're going to put all these stipulations in place to ensure that no matter what, whatever amount of money they give you, they're making that back. And they've been fucked, and artists have been fucked in the past.
Yeah.
So now they have all these sort of, like obstacles that prevent you from a quick cash grab and running away from it. One of those, like you mentioned, is them owning the masters, right? And people always say like, never let anyone own your masters or whatever. At a certain point, once you cross the threshold of how much money they're going to give you, they're going to own your masters. They're going to own your masters like throughout the universe. Like they'll be able to do, it literally says in contracts, in perpetuity throughout the universe, which is great.
Yeah. It's
That's
pretty wild. It's pretty wild. Yeah. Hire a lawyer, kids. Just hire a good lawyer.
And don't be afraid of labels or distribution companies. There's a lot of like really cool indie labels out there who work for the artists and profit only to support the artists and are in the artist pockets. And there's a lot of even big labels that love supporting great art, but both of those come with risks. You can either do it all yourself, or you can go with someone who can potentially give you some help and a launch pad so you can be somewhat established. I'm not going to sit here and preach all that, fuck labels, you know, shit. It doesn't always work for everyone. If you're a pop artist and you're going completely independent, like it might not work, you know?
Yeah, that is true. That is true. I think, I mean, do you feel like you need a label? Because I would say that you're in a pretty good position, but I mean, that's just me as someone from the outside looking in. Um, but you know, no one knows your needs as a musician, as an artist better than you. So understanding how the game works and understanding everything that you know now, like, do you think that you need a label?
Uh, no, I think I just want one, you know? I'm I'm sitting here. Here's why I think I would need one. For, you know, for like a big album release or like a big project, like some shit that's, you know, that I'm working on. Um, is because I'm doing everything. Like, I'm not even shitting you, like everything from the mix. And I have like a homie in Seattle who helps me out with the mastering. That's pretty much it.
Yeah.
All that shit, like even when my graphic designer gets done with it, I have so much OCD that I have to like go into the Photoshop file and like fix things up. And like I'm running my social media. I'm responding to fans on like 4 different, you know, like social platforms, like on a daily basis. And then I have my live streaming.
Mhm.
I have, you know, fucking cats to feed and a wife. Like I'm starting to run out of time. And I really want a situation in which I'm just making the music.
Right.
For that situation, it'd be great to have a team behind me, an artist manager, a project manager, someone who just takes care of everything, and then a day-to-day guy at the label. So if anything's fucked up or anything goes wrong, I could just hit him and be like, "Yo, what the fuck?" You know,
Right.
I need more people to yell at. You know, I feel bad for Eric because I just always yelling at my manager, but I need more people to yell at.
Yeah. Hire an intern, man. You can yell at them all you want.
I gotta do that. Yeah, it's a lot to handle, like an artist project to handle completely independently. I think people will find themselves pretty stunned at how difficult it is to do it all yourself.
It is, man. It's a lot. I mean, it's a lot just to get to any level of success as uh as a music creative. It's hard, man. Like, yeah, most people are not going to have those teams. Most people are going to do it the way that you and I have been doing it up to this point, which is like handling an ungodly amount of stuff on your own until you find people to step in or you sign to a label and they provide you with support and stuff.
And they'll provide you with people that can do like little things. Like, you know, like
Right.
I'm posting something, like I should have posted today at 12 p.m., but I didn't have anything to post. And I didn't plan it the night before because I had other shit to do. And like, then at like 11:54, I was like, fuck, I got to post something. And I'm like, you know what? Far too lazy. Like, I'm sick of being stressed out the entire day. I'm going to take a break from posting today. But if I had someone managing that shit, it would have been done.
Yeah. You can get a lot more done by having the right team for sure.
I agree. And for some people, that's needed. For some people, that's not. Some underground acts, maybe they don't need like a, you know, a crazy, you know, graphic design guy, or maybe they don't need like a crazy visualizer. Maybe their whole image is that they don't even have social media, or like look at MF Doom, like, you know,
Mhm.
there's different routes to all of this, and it all depends on who you are and what you're trying to do with your music.
Very true.